3 days on, he calls back. Okay, you're going to state your figure? And be careful, young man, to state it. You know, Robert is intimidating.
He is
very intimidating.
very.
It's like, be careful to state it right. Because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity I'm giving you. So as to state your figure, I tell him 1 million shillings. So he called me on Thursday, on Friday, they had a contract for me ready. I'd never known what it's like to switch jobs. I'd never switched a job before. So I talked to my editor. This is an editor who'd been very loyal to me. Been dropping me home in my earlier days in journalism. He taught me everything I knew about. So I talked to him, I'm like, I have an offer here. Earn me 1 million shillings. I'm at school, I'm in hostel, I need to pay hostel. I need some money also, I have a business venture here, which needs some investment. And you're not going to be able to pay me this money. You're not paying me anytime soon. Yeah. So we talked about it, and he was very adult about it. He told me, okay, never make a decision swayed by money. Do something because your heart is in it. So he asked me, are you sure that you want to become a digital editor? In my heart of hearts, I don't know whether I was blinded by the money or not, but I was like, I think I'm sure this is what I want to do.
It's time for a change.
Yeah. But I also, this was the first time I was going to be away from tutorship into a space where you're alone and making executive decisions. So I went into the New Vision. The editor allowed me to go. He said, just write a resignation email. Once you write it, because you're on a part-time contract, you don't have to give us days to leave. But this should be something that's okay. So I wrote a resignation email, a very long email. I think like
must have
4
been
pages
emotional.
long. 4 pages long. I was like,
4 pages?
Yeah.
What?
I genuinely, I don't know whether it's a life talent, but I just like writing. It's something I do with so much ease. Yeah. So they're like, okay, it's fine, we'll let you go. They threw me a party, cut me cake. Yeah. So I left and then started at a New Vision. Now I'm digital editor of the New Vision, working under a boss called Louis Jadwong, who was pretty much strategy, not implementation. So he'd figure out the strategy, I'd figure out implementation.
Okay.
So I get into New Vision, and there's a bunch of very old folks who are very respectable in the profession. Some of the best names in the game. And the way I understood digital was, if a story happens, you give it to us first before it goes to the paper.
Yes.
The way they'd been oriented was, if a story happens, it goes to the paper, then you guys can pick from the paper what comes. This looks strange now. 4 years ago, this wasn't strange.
Yeah. Because now news is real time.
Yeah, so there was real rope pulling. They didn't understand that aspect. So I had another conversation with Robert. I'm like, Robert, I know you mean well, but if this doesn't work like this, there's no way I'll be able to execute my job. We will literally always be at the back end of things. So Robert tells me, you don't have managerial experience, so you can't be talking to people who are your seniors. That might explain why they are hesitant to help you. So how about I put you in a bunch of people who are your type, and you see if you can work things out. So Robert sends me to Urban TV, and then Urban TV, I meet young folks who are like me, who understand the game the way I understand it. Yeah. Now we're at Urban TV, but then we're not getting the resources. Like, still the guys that go out into the field are the respectable guys. Yeah. So one time I tell them, you know what? To prove this, let's do a case study. Let's do something on our own with our own money, pull it off. Yeah. And guys are like, own money company work? Not us.
Not happening.
I withdrew 250K from my account. The one where this person was paying rent to me was a deposit. I withdrew money, I paid them, then Owino market had burnt down. It's like, rush there, let's take these photos. Take very good photos, write a very good story. Let's break this story. So the market burnt at like 3 a.m. We did all these decisions like 6 a.m. 7:30 in the morning. We were flooding with photos. The timeline had photos, and all of them had a New Vision logo. So because the guys in the news, the respectable guys in the news were not on Twitter, they were not on Facebook, they didn't understand this, but Robert was on Twitter and Facebook.
And he's seeing this.
Robert walks in, he's like, guys, top story is Owino. We're not debating this. Like, what do you mean top story is Owino? It's like, Owino market burnt down. You guys don't know? Well, You're letting us know now, like, yeah, you need to send their photographers to see what happened. So they are sending photographers. When they left the room, yes, when they left the room, because we couldn't tell them in their faces. When they left the room, we approached Helen Muchibi, the editor, were like, these are photos taken from the night when the thing was burning. This is fire, you can clearly see the fire. These are people trying rescue efforts. These are bites, sound from guys who are rescuing. This is video from guys who are rescuing. So we had a 360 from Twitter. We had a SoundCloud, went to Vision Radio, and then, yeah. So when we did that, I think there was a mindset shift.
Yes.
A complete mindset shift. They're like, okay, these guys are here and they're here to stay. And because of that, it brewed some workplace politics, which I don't like engaging in. So because of the workplace politics, I told Robert, I love this job, I'd love to do it, but I can't do it under the circumstances.
Yeah.
Which was very hurting for Robo, because first of all, you negotiated your salary, which is way above what I was offering you. Now you're leaving. Yeah, it was a very bad time.
Yeah.
So I leave the New Vision and I have no job at this time. But I have a name at least. I've done some work and everyone out there knows it. So I go back. I'm in hostel. It was resting time for me, quality resting time. I rested for some time. But I started to worry now. I'm like, if I continue resting for like another 2 months, I'm going to draw out my entire account. And if I draw out my entire account, then I'll not have money to help people if they come to me. Yeah. So I call my editor at URN again. Like, so that job at New Vision, what you told me actually happened, and now I'm out of a job.
Yeah.
It's like, Raymond, whisper, don't say you're out of a job. Whisper, you're really out of a job? Like, yeah, I'm out of a job. I tell you, I called him at 2 p.m. At 4 p.m. I had a contract. Wow. 1.5 million shillings contract. Fantastic. I rushed back to URN, like I never left. I came back, guys were happy to see me. Of course, they were making the same jokes. You thought you'd never come back, what? Yeah. So I worked at URN.
How long were you there after that?
I was 2 years first, then a break of 2 months, then I came back for 2 months. Now, in my second month on that contract, Maurice Mugisha calls, and they offered me a contract way, way above what I was earning. Blinding contract, in fact, the money was so blinding. I go back to my editor, I tell him, so I've considered an NTV offer, and I'd like to take it. And my editor was kind again. He was like, if it's something you're passionate about, I urge you, please do it. If you need any support, if you need any help, we're here to help you. So yeah.
They want to see you grow.
Yeah, they really, really, truly wanted to see me grow. So I get hired into NTV as an investigative reporter. NTV didn't do investigative features then. They were doing news stories, they didn't do investigative documentary features. So when I came in, I had learned what guys were doing like in the Kenyan markets and stuff. And then I was like, we can't replicate some of these things here. We can't do long form here. So unluckily, my first day on the job, which was supposed to be induction and the like, I'm walking into office and someone from the NRM calls me and says, our treasurer has just been involved in an accident along the Mpiji highway, and they're being brought to hospital. So if you have a reporter, please come by. That person didn't know I was in NTV then. So I'm walking into the newsroom and I tell Maurice, I need a camera to go out and shoot something. So I was like, you're already in turn with the job. It's like, did I give you a cameraman yesterday? Yes, take that one. So I go out with Abubakar, we go to hospital, we get footage of her arriving, we get footage of the wreckage of the car and the like. And so we worked so hard to make the nighttime, the 9 p.m. news. That report was more of an investigative report than it was an event.
Yes.
So other stories, other TVs were carrying, they had an accident, they were taken to this place. Ours was, this is the number of accidents that happened in the country. So she was just one of the many accidents that happened. These are how you treat accidents, this is what you need to know. So it was a really detailed report.
It was a game changer as well.
Yeah, it was a proper game changer. But I wasn't ready for like the feedback. Because then my Facebook exploded, my Twitter exploded. And then there was these many people asking, who's this guy? Where's he come from? We've never seen him on TV, what? So I had a new life that I was stepping into that I didn't know a thing about. So when you get into TV, people pay attention to you.
Yep.
They don't pay attention to the things you're doing, they pay attention to you as an individual. They might see the things you're doing, but you as an individual matter to them. So there were so many people inquiring about me, and I'm naturally a shy person. I'm naturally reclusive. I don't like attention. Yeah, so I had to learn the ropes very fast at that time. So I learned from friends, first of all, make your accounts private.
Yeah.
Let's start there, because you will be in Kampala Sun by the evening. So my accounts went private. Some of them, I left the Twitter account open. I left the Facebook account open. I deleted some information from my Facebook account, which was personal to me. Yeah. And then, of course, some of the big names in town were now like talking about my report. Then the next day, I'm in office and someone comes around, they are crying, they say, our mother has been beaten up, it's a car bond, they're likely to die, we need you guys to help us. So for me it was strange. It was, hey guys, someone's crying at the reception. Everyone in NTV was like, we get these cases every day. They come here, this is our day
Nothing
job.
new, huh?
Nothing new. So for me it was strange. Honestly, it was strange. So I get my cameraman again, we head out. And we film a story about this lady, and then we get interested in the fact, why was she tortured? So we started asking questions. Who tortured her? And we found out who tortured. Then we found sources who knew about the torture. They spoke to us off the record. We put them on camera, we blurred their voices. Then we ran an investigative report. This is my second story in the newsroom. The story runs at 9:45, Maurice calls me and says, Raymond, I just come off a call from the IGP. He thinks that the story you ran today was unfair to the police, and I need you to be sure that we have all the facts the way we want them to be. I'm like, yeah, tomorrow morning, I'll come in, all the facts. So I come in tomorrow morning, I present to Maurice all the facts. He's like, this is a very solid story. So first, we thought they'd come to arrest us. It was like, I knew, like, investigative story, they will arrest you first, cause mayhem and the like. But the IGP had, I think, a different sense of doing things. Because in the story we'd said, this lady was tortured 100 meters from the CPS. And for him, it hurt him that, it's a police cell. It's
And
one
it
of
had
our
to be
best in the
mentioned.
country. Yeah, and you mentioned it. Yeah. So the IGP calls a press conference where he summons us to come to a press conference. So we come to a press conference thinking, of course, it's going to backlash and the like. It's like, I've ordered the arrest of this man.
Yes.
I've ordered the arrest of the police officer in charge. I've ordered the arrest of the commander of the police station.
Yes.
So now, I'd come from small moves to major moves now, like real major moves, because now people were in jail based on evidence I had. And so they asked me, can you tender to us all the evidence you have? So we handed over all the evidence we had, the family, we put them in touch with the police, and then, so that story was nominated again for an award. Yeah. But that story also, like, rattled feathers, because now even guys in the Kenyan newsrooms had watched, starting with the press conference where the arrests were announced.
Yes.
Because the arrests were a major news story.
Yes.
So everyone's like, but where do the arrests come from? So everyone in the story was saying an investigative story had run, so guys would come back and watch the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, when I look back at that story, it wasn't even, we had so many things we
But I think
skipped.
it was the human interest
Yeah, it was the
element.
human interest element that came with it. So NBS, I was asked really to make the desk what I wanted, and I chose to focus on investigations then. I was also undergoing some personal life changes in my own life,
Okay.
at a very personal level. So those pretty much influenced me too. As no longer chasing so much to make a name, I'd stopped that. I now wanted to settle down, do something that's more impactful, spend a lot more time doing a production that would cause impact than doing short form stories that wouldn't have impact. Yeah, so I started out investigations. We did some blockbusters. We did a sexual harassment blockbuster, which got the entire Makerere University up in arms. There was a policy change. There was a sacking of about 23 lecturers after our story. Painful. Painful, but that's the truth about how stories run. We did one on the Port Bill. Government immediately put money in Port Bill. They just refurbished it. It's going to start working now. We did one on corruption. People involved got arrested. So it's been running.
Those are
Even last Monday,
dangerous territory.
yeah, last Monday we really shot way up the ladder. We literally accused the minister of taking a bribe, and we had evidence for it. And yeah, the story ran, and it's been a blockbuster also. So yeah, we have ons and offs.
So how do you handle the death threats that come with it? Because I'm sure you get very many.
Yeah, I told you, first of all, my life mantra is simple. The logical conclusion of life is death.
God.
So I don't worry about the fact that I will die. I worry about the fact that when I'm still alive, what am I doing
What
with
are
my
you
time
doing
alive?
with your time here?
Yes. So, because I could die of anything. A bee could sting me and I die. I
could
could
cross
get
the
knocked by a
road.
bike and I die. Get shot and I die. But when I die, at least I will have left behind some work. It's a legacy to look at. Yeah.
You said you were making some changes based on also your personal
Yes,
life.
my personal life.
Was that your mother being terminally ill?
Yeah, partly was that. My mom was terminally ill. I had to come to terms with that. And it took some time to come to terms with. It was a very, very tough moment in my life. Very few people around me knew. And those who knew were my very close friends. And I'd asked them not to disclose it to anyone because then I didn't want any kind of treatment that alluded to the fact that I was undergoing a tough time.
Yeah.
I had a real mental health breakdown. I lost a relationship in the process. So I started literally from scratch, got into another relationship. And then I underwent therapy. I was in therapy for 7 months, about 7 months, yeah. So it was a tough time. The guys at work just saw me walking in and delivering. Some who were close enough noticed, said something is off. My supervisors sometimes felt like, hey, there's something wrong, but very few actually knew what was actually happening. Yeah, but I mean, come full throttle terms with it now. I know, like, it's not a death threat. It's not a scare. It's people can be terminally ill and live all their lives till 80, till 90. People can be terminally ill and live. Yeah. So it's every moment you can get, live it to the maximum, live it to the fullest. But also the changes that my mom has had to take for that terminal illness have just been amazing. Because now our younger siblings are learning to appreciate life moments more.
Yeah.
It's for them. It's no longer about fleeting. Let's run through this, do this. Let's run through this, and it's brought us much more closer as a family than anything else could.
I can imagine. And
Yeah,
it also
in
explains why you said now you set boundaries. Your weekends are your weekends.
Yeah, my weekends are complete weekends. I like to visit her on Sunday, go spend some time with her. Yeah. On Saturday, I like to sleep in, do nothing. Yeah. And later in the day, I'd probably move out with friends, do something small and polite. Yeah. But also, I'm writing a little bit more now. Yeah. But also, I'd like to. So my dad had a lot of things that he did. Now he's in retirement.
Okay.
So I'm sort of pushed to take responsibility, take charge, make sure the
lot of
things he
changes.
built while he was here, sustain them,
Yeah.
grow them. But if possible, let some of them go because they will be draining to the family.
Yeah.
So those decisions have to be taken. And also I'm now entrusted with a little bit more responsibility than I was before. So yeah, people look up and say, well, 25 now, a few months you have to start telling about marriage, talking about children.
Do you feel that that's where you are?
Yeah, I honestly feel that that's where I am. And I've let the special people in my life know this, that I am not experimenting with my life. I don't have that point in life where it's, let's do this and see how it turns out. No, it's not that for me anymore. It's, we're doing this because we want to see this. And because we want to see this, we're going to put in our efforts to do it very well. Yeah. So you fail sometimes, you win sometimes, but mostly wins. If you have most wins than fails, you're doing well.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Okay, well, thank you so much, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best. Yes, life, you need to take time sometimes to just step back and make these very important decisions.
This is a point that my HR needs to hear. You need to take some time. No, I've been fiddling with them. So I take my leave in October always. From October 1st till 30th, I'm not in office.
Okay.
My birthday is October the 10th, so I'm always away from my birthday.
So you take your birthday month?
Yes, I'm always away. I travel to a destination, I see new things. Yeah, spend some time, think about what I want to do. So my year literally starts then.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've been impressing it upon my HR. You know, it's just a few days to October 1st. And I don't see you making changes that indicate that I'm going to be away. Yeah, so maybe they'll need to watch this.
Oh, Raymond, a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a life goal achievement. You know, in life they tell you, live your life well, get interviewed by Newman. Live your life well. It's there. They don't write it, but it's there. Yeah, so this is like an achievement.
Oh man. Now I'm going to be floating.
No.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too for having me.
Okay.
Yeah.